All right, it's another hump day, everybody. Time for a new episode of Xbox Gaming Roundtable from whichever corner of the globe you hail from. Good morning and good evening. Today I'm joined by Unlimited Productions.
Hey, what's up?
And
What's up? Oh, sorry,
there you go.
sorry about that, man. Got a little distracted for a second.
Oh, okay. Oh well, shoot, man. You can't be keeping all eyes on the titty.
Yeah.
And also by my homie Sega Man.
What's up, everybody? Sega Man here. Glad to be here. Can't wait to get into these topics with my main man, Fire Boss, and the crew.
All right, and also ODT Reaper.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah. You might as well get used to seeing ODT. He's he's been part of the package.
Well, I just want to give you're definitely going to see a lot more of me now that I'm all healed up, but I just wanted to give a quick shout out to everybody that's been supportive and patient. Patient is keyword.
That's right.
That's
Wolverine,
good, man.
y'all.
You're feeling better. It's good.
I finally look like myself at 17.
Nice. And also, we're joined by a special guest today, the one and only Emmanuel. What's going on, homie?
Yo, what's going on, Fire Boss? What's going on, everybody? It's a pleasure to be on
What's
here,
up,
man.
Emmanuel?
Nothing much, Sega, man. Yeah, I listen to all you guys, man. I'm a fan of y'all, so like I said, it's a pleasure to be on here with y'all.
Oh, shucks. I appreciate it, man. I mean, granted, I'm new to this, so that would probably be more appropriate for Unlimited and Sega Man, though. They've been at this far longer than me.
You're doing good, though. You know what I mean?
Well, I appreciate it. All right.
No
Well,
doubt, man.
okay. Well, my usual suspects here, right here. Already know the rules of engagement for the roundtable, but Emmanuel, you're new here, so basically the roundtable, if you're old enough, works like the old news broadcast show called Crossfire back in the day. So I'll start off with a topic, bounce it off you guys, and then I'll roll it around the table to the next person. They'll throw out a topic that, basically just throw out a topic that is something that you want to get off your chest and see how
Okay.
everybody else, feels about it. Since you're tonight's guest, I'll go ahead and give you the honor to start us off, man.
Okay, that's what's up. I was actually listening back to one of your old podcasts, and when you mentioned Crossfire, I thought you were talking about Crossfire X. So that is showing my age.
Yeah, it shows mine too.
But yeah, to start off, man, one thing that's on my mind tonight, of course, we got some interesting news at the PS5. So I want to start off with the temperatures of the Xbox Series X in relation to the PS5. We have some solid numbers for Xbox Series X, but we don't have actual numbers for PS5. But and no one was able to touch it, so we don't really know if it's running cool. But it looks like it's running cool. But I still think the design for Xbox Series X is going to be better for the cooling.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. It's funny because when you said that, for some odd reason, that damn MC Hammer commercial, that Cheetos commercial, jumped in my head. Can't touch this. just
Nice.
imagine the Japanese people over there. They getting close to it, and MC Hammer just jumped out from behind the table. Can't touch this.
Oh man.
But yeah, man, I'll start off with that, man. It's funny how everybody's just sits there and acts brand new to this, when after all these years of us dealing with all sorts of high powered electronics, especially computers, and this especially goes out to those who brag and boast about, oh, what do I need an Xbox for? I got a computer. If you got a computer strong enough to run Game Pass or run pretty much anything from Steam, you're gonna have a machine that blows out some heat. Even if you touch the side of it, you're going to feel heat. So the thing is, this is not even, no matter how much you kind of like form this up, it's not damage control. It's just me rubbing my fucking forehead, wondering, where the fuck did all this intelligence that everybody brags and boasts about evaporated to? And then you got the dude on the Giant Bomb podcast. He fucking like, now, dude, this is a SSD. They make it plain as simple as SSD. That plastic housing is there for a damn reason.
Exactly.
Why are you just took it out the thing? You already know it's toasty. Why the hell you sitting there trying to hold the metal part?
Yeah.
Like, ooh, hot, 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 hot. You're like, yes, motherfucker, it is hot. You're like, this ain't the fucking Pop-Tarts commercial, so hot is cool. No, it's gonna fucking burn you, bruh. Like, come on, man. I'm gonna pass it on, man. Unlimited.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, Emmanuel's just asking our thoughts about this news going around with everybody going on about the overheating of the Xbox.
Yeah, man. I had to get fire insurance for my house just in case it burned down. I mean, the Xbox has been on fire all year, so it only makes sense that their new console is going to burn the whole place down. I mean, damn.
Hey, Unlimited, did the insurance guy get all happy? He's like, oh my God, that sounds expensive.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
we'll be sure to set you up.
Yeah, fire insurance, that makes about as much sense as volcano insurance, but you got to play it safe. You got to play it safe. They saying that new Xbox is running too hot, man. Because you know how it goes. Silicone, I guess it's supposed to run as cold as a winter snow, but hey, I'm not a tech guy. So what do I know? All I know, when that report came out, I got my fire insurance just in case my place burned down this November.
Man, something else I forgot to add before I pass this on to Sega Man is what do y'all think about this? Where all of a sudden this pops up right around the time when they push out that fucking PS5 breakdown, and the thing they're showing so much emphasis on is that big fat ass heatsink.
Oh man, you know how the game works now. And anything PlayStation does at any particular time is what they need to bash Xbox about. So there's a random heating that the console runs hot thing. It is suspicious timing, but they got nothing anymore. So they're throwing anything at the wall to praise PlayStation about. Hell, Polygon praised the PlayStation 5 stand today.
Yeah, I saw that.
That stand is terrible, man.
Yeah, and then with the Series X, all you have to do is just flip it on its side. You're good. Don't need a stand. Just put it in horizontal mode.
All right, Sega Man.
Yeah, man. I did a video earlier. I'm gonna still keep it up, but I didn't know. Did they do the breakdown? Was that today actually?
Yeah, I saw that video, Sega Man. I was like, well, I figured you must have pre-recorded it.
Yeah, I did, and people were like, "Oh, saying all kind of stuff." But when I seen that, guys, when I actually watched this guy named MGV, and he was talking about the breakdown of the system, because I think he's one of them dudes that always go into systems, see how they work. I think he mods a lot of stuff. So I was watching his video version of it, and that the way that he broke that down, I mean, who would want to actually take apart that to put like Unlimited said, we're offline, to put a more memory in it, and when the Japanese dude broke it down, man, I mean, I was like, God damn, there's so many goddamn pieces. I mean, it was huge, the table, and the way he broke it down. If you look at the Xbox Series X version of the breakdown by Digital Foundry, it was much simpler, and the heatsink was much smaller, and it was just better. It was better designed. The way that Microsoft's they did with the Series X. It's a way better breakdown. I can see taking that apart. I wouldn't take my Series X apart, but I can see taking that apart than if I was a PlayStation owner, because I'd be afraid to take that apart, because I'd be afraid I would do something in there to jeopardize the system, and then I would be shit out of luck. You know what I mean? And that big, huge heat sink, that's ridiculously big. I mean, that thing is huge. And if you look at the system while he's sitting and he has it by him, it looks like it's bigger than him almost. I mean, that thing's huge, man. You know what
It's
I
like
mean?
his whole torso.
Right. And they used to always tease us about Papa OG Xbox One. Oh, it looks like a VCR. Oh, it looks like a CD player. Oh, it looks like this, looks like that. That's way bigger than that.
That's my classical router right there.
Yeah. But they're not. That's the thing, though. It's okay now. It's okay now that when Sony comes out with a humongous Godzilla version of a console, it's okay now. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, cool, man. I could take the fan out. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. It's all cool now. You know what I mean? They always got to run the narrative. And it was just watching him do that. If I was a PS5 owner, I would not do that at all. I would not try to take that apart, even if it was to put different, I guess, designer plates or whatever on that thing. But I would never do that, because I'd be afraid that I would break something and then I wouldn't be able to get a replacement, or they wouldn't, replace it for me. You know what I mean? So I understand that they did it and people wanted to see it. You know what I mean? But like you guys said before, they could have been did this. Why are they waiting so long? Why ain't they letting Digital Foundry break it down? Why ain't they letting any of their favorite YouTubers that praise them give them a console and break it down? Why do they have to do? Why can't they give it to Digital Foundry? Think about it. Why not? Xbox gave it to them right away. Visit them and they broke it down. So I don't know. There's fishy, man. There's something behind this. You know what I mean? That's what I think about it, man. That thing is, guys. Hey, that thing is gonna be. That thing's gonna be hot, man. I mean that thing's gonna be real. What do you think? What's making that like be? Why they have to design like that? What's making it gonna be that hot? You know what I'm saying? With that big heat sink. I mean, what really is gonna cause the heat in that system, man?
Well, their power supply draws more current than the Xboxes, and plus remember its chipset is variable. It's variable clock.
Yeah.
So they got all that going on. And
a fire boss. Do you think when these systems are available, which I don't think they're gonna be, I'm just on my opinion, I just don't think they're gonna be, but when they are, do you think they're, with all that stuff that is in that system, do you think they're still gonna have a heating issue?
Well, to be fair, according to those that, I guess in the know, if you really want to go off of that, they're claiming that the thing is quote unquote whisper quiet, and that it's cool, I guess cool to the touch. But what's his name? Spawnwave was, I think it was Spawnwave I was looking at. One of them stated that the only reason it feels cool to the touch compared to what people were saying about the Xbox Series X, is because of those plates. Those platings are there, so it's going to feel moderately warm, but they're not going to feel how the system really is because it's pulling all the air through the plates. So I mean, in the long run, I think this is one of those things where it's like we're going to have to see how it goes. But the thing is, I mean, ODT Reaper probably might know different than I do, but from what I've understood about liquid metal over thermal paste is that it can conduct more heat, more energy, but it has
hot as hell.
But the thing is, after a while, it has a tendency to start, I believe, rehardening and setting wrong and start.
It remolds itself after it burns. It's rather.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's basically like cryogenics basically with really, really hot ice where it just freezes over again once you use it once.
Yeah, and so I mean so you got like some people online just joking around talking about like, good luck trying to replace that within 6 months.
Yeah.
So,
especially over that entire island.
Hey guys, real quick, and Xbox made a really big mistake with the way they did it, the heating thing for the Xbox 360, and they repaired all that. They're not going to make that same mistake again. I don't think there's going to be any heating issues with the Series X. They know what they were doing when they designed this system. So I honestly, maybe if it does get hot, fine, warm, or whatever, but I don't think there's going to be a problem with these new brands of Xboxes that are coming out. They already, capitalized on that with the 360. They made it better. They made a really good one with the Xbox One X with the vapor chamber. I don't think they're going to make a mistake with, and have these things like overheat and something happen to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's supposed to be the same team that did the Xbox One X.
Exactly.
Right,
and they spend way too much money developing these consoles and R&D. Like, people don't understand how much money goes into things like R&D and that goes into stuff like R&D for these consoles. You don't just Microsoft didn't just shove stuff in a box and hope for the best and then start sending it out to people, y'all. This
That's right, folks.
In the work.
This ain't Bojangles.
Yeah,
that's right, folks. This ain't Bojangles.
Yeah.
All right. So if there was a heating issue, that would have been on one of the first models, and they probably worked it out by now.
Right.
I have all faith that what happened in the 360, man, that ain't never happened again.
Nope.
So all this stuff about it running hot, it's only running as hot as any product does. Keep your TV on for 10 hours a day and see how hot. Hell, your whole room will get hot if you run like something. You got any of these big ass TVs? Your whole room will be hot if you leave it on all day.
My entire apartment is about 80 degrees every single day.
Yeah. or
can I piggyback off something that Sega Man was saying?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, he was talking about not wanting to go on the side of the system and everything, and I agree. I was a little bit too involved, and I doubt that they were cover you on the warranty. But also, I have to think of gamers, that might have arthritis, older gamers or people who are, visually impaired. Xbox does have Braille on the back. So, with that expansion slot, it's very easy for, someone who's visually impaired to just put that in.
Good point, Manuel.
Yeah, I would not wish, anyone with like eyesight problems, trying to crack open that PS5.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm watching this dude, and kudos to him for his his professional. I mean, how professional and he was just. It was like watching military drills all over again. I thought, I was having like flashbacks and stuff. Inspection arms. And dudes just breaking down. It was like, good God, I hate to see this dude break down M16. Oh Lord, you ain't gonna put that back together. But
you prior service, Fireboss?
Yeah, Army.
Oh man, thanks for your service.
Hey, yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, man.
But yeah.
Thanks for your service, man.
Yeah, thanks for your service, brother. Hey, but I gotta get going, Fireboss.
Oh, okay then. All right.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, Unlimited. All right, brother.
Yeah.
Oh,
all
right, man. You have a good night.
All right.
It's a pleasure meeting you, man.
Yeah, same, Emmanuel, man. I'll keep up with you in the comments.
No doubt.
See you Sunday, bro.
All right. But yeah, like I said, my biggest concern was all those parts he broke down. It was like, please don't lose something.
Yeah.
That was my only concern, was like, please don't lose anything, because I hate for you to lose your job. Because they already have them at a shortage with them. So I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, this they had to get a lot of investors on board for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I can't see anybody really breaking that down. The way he had all them pieces out like that, it was way more pieces, I think, than the Series X. I mean, it was just humongous breakdown.
yeah,
I could see popping the fins off to change the colors, decorate them. I think that's pretty cool, but I think that's as far as it goes. And even that, it look like you do it wrong, you might break that damn thing in half.
if you
think about it, you might. Yeah.
If you're not pulling those panels off the right way, like say like it's a little kid or something like that, and the kid might not be paying attention, and then just happen to break one of the clips.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that happen. but moving along, Sega Man, what subject you got for us, bro?
Oh, let's see. Let's see what we got here. What do you guys think about the Xbox Series X? What are you guys looking forward to, man? I mean, what are you looking forward to coming up for the Xbox Series X? Is there like certain kind of feature you're looking to really try out on the system? And what do you think about the? I think they did a recent comparison with the Series X and the Xbox One X loading up the same game. I was very impressed by that, man. The load time speeds on the Series X is remarkable in my opinion, man.
Probably just the actual speed of how fast everything is now, and the 120 FPS upgrade for consoles finally. I want to see the next stage of multiplayer evolution. I want to see that new Call of Duty 40-player mode coming straight up around the corner. I personally think that until we
sounds fun, man.
Yeah, I personally think until we get the xCloud fully working, you won't see a 100 versus 100 on Call of Duty, but I guarantee we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, that would be so fun, T. Oh man.
Yeah, bring back the Call of Duty 3, wonderful tanks on the battlefield. I think we'll actually see it in a different, point of view. I think be kind of interesting.
That IGN said that Xbox was taking jabs at PS5's vertical Horizon processor or something like that. It was saying. You hear about that?
Hell yeah, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. I named it I named the PS5 its wonderful router. That because it has to stand up to actually get the best, air acceleration.
Yeah.
No matter what we do in the next generation or so, everything is going to run hot as hell because we're going past, chip limits that we haven't done before. So, and the higher you clock the chips, the hotter it will run.
I'm just thinking, you lose that stand. You talking about losing those parts? You lose that stand, you boned.
Yeah, you lose that stand.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering though, looking at the bottom of it, well, the supposed bottom of it, when it's standing up, it looks flat enough where you shouldn't need a stand, I would think. But
yeah,
I don't know. I back away.
Hey, Fireboss and Emmanuel and T. A lot of people on the interweb were really complaining about how they would like to fit it into something, and now they have to stand it up. And some of them don't want to stand it up. They actually want to fit it in, fit it in, I guess, like a TV stand thing or something like that. But there was a lot of complaints about that, man.
Yeah,
there was a lot of complaints about that.
It has to be positioned on a vertical point. On a vertical point, otherwise it can't actually run correctly,
right?
Or as cool.
See, that's
whereas on your Series X, all you have to do is just put it on its side and just run it like a brick. You're all set.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, and a lot of people are complaining about that because there's people that like to see that inside their entertainment system. They don't want to. A lot of people don't want it to be vertical. You know what I mean? So it can kind of cause a problem. You know what I mean? Size.
I got my.
It's huge.
I got my TV hanging in it. I think it would like hit the bottom of my TV. And as far as throwing off heat, I don't think that would work. So I think the vertical position could be a problem too.
Could be
Well, I
right,
mean,
man.
Yeah, I mean, in your case though, as long as you don't have like I guess as long as you don't have anything that's like, blocking it. I want to say like at least a foot, a foot or so of space from
Yeah.
where the air is pushing out, then you should be kosher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at my TV now, man. I think by the way that thing looks, I think I'll have maybe three inches from the bottom of my TV. So
Yeah.
I would be out. I mean, I'm not getting a damn PS5 anyways.
Like that shit like a fucking Decepticon.
Yeah, it looks like I don't know, man. Kind of looks like something inside of like a. How back in the 80s, how the dudes used to wear their collars up. Kind of looks.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like that, and they're hiding inside their collar. Kind of looks like that, man. I don't know. Man.
Come on, man. Come on, Sega, man. Don't bring back the members only days, man. Come on, man. I know I wasn't the only one who had a members only jacket. Am I the only one? Damn.
You know what?
I vaguely know what that is.
Used to wear my leather jacket like that. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, fellas. It's just, I don't know. Hopefully they'll change the aesthetics of this thing, to make it look a little better. It wouldn't be so bad if those things weren't sticking out at the top. I mean, it just really looks funky, and I just don't like the look at all, man. It just doesn't look right with those things sticking up like that, man.
Yeah.
It's a hazard. It's a hazard to gamers' health.
Man, if you got any small kids, man, it's a hazard to them if they knock it off that shelf and it comes down on top.
Yeah. I think that's why they do have that stand. That thing could kill a toddler or something. Pulling on it or something.
Oh yeah, severely hurt them, or like you said, kill them possibly. It's possible.
I mean, to me, it's like this. I mean, I got no problem with the plates, and I kind of like where they're trying to go with them. But to me, it's like, was those edges really necessary? Y'all could have curved them with the fucking, with the thing. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
They should have curved them, Fireboss. Seriously, it would have looked a little better. I mean, if you would have curved them out, smoothed them out. I mean,
something. But moving on, ODT. What subject you got for us, man?
Can I answer Second Man's question?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Give me.
As far as what I'm looking forward to for the Xbox Series X, I want that quick resume, man. I like the idea of jumping in between different games. The biggest one I would say is the auto HDR. I want to go back and
it's gonna be sweet.
Hell yeah, man! That's gonna revolutionize back compat. But I want to go back to stuff like Lost Odyssey. Have that in running at 60 frames. Colorful games like that. With the auto HDR, it's gonna look crazy. And the last thing I'll say is probably the D-pad. I kind of got out of fighting games because D-pads fuck my thumb up. But that new D-pad looks really comfortable, and I'm willing to get back into it if it is.
Oh shit! Emmanuel's ready to jump back into some more KI.
Yeah, man.
That's right, grocery bagger 101. I'm after you now, motherfucker. like boogity booty, guess who's back, motherfucker? He's like, oh shit, I'm back in your lobby. Oh no. But yeah, but go ahead, ODC. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to like the evolution of a lifetime. We got xCloud. We got fanboys crying every single day. I think E-Rock will make a decent amount of comedies out of all of these whiny little babies. That or a Sega Man will just keep lecturing them to death until they troll him to death.
Yeah. We need to watch E-Rock. I think he's having too much fun.
I gotta admit, I watched that Lucas video like at least a couple times before I stopped watching it because it was just too funny.
That was a good one.
I mean, it's like I don't have anything really against the dude that much. I mean, that's his opinion and stuff, and I don't know him, from a fucking shell to a pea. But I swear to God, looking at him, it's like looking at some. You remember how, like, like little kids used to like pop the heads off their He-Man figures and put them on. It's like somebody took the head of a Ken doll, a black Ken doll, and popped it on a He-Man's body or something. It's like, well, what the fuck's going on? What am I looking at here?
You're talking about that one dude. Yeah, he was very butthurt, man.
Yeah. But like, I don't really understand why, we all love games. Why does it have to be on one platform or the other? Like, why does someone have to be so butthurt because your resolution is 1080 and not 4K, or your frames are 120 and not 60? Like, everybody just complains about the smallest ramifications to their own playstyle. It's annoying as hell that we have to have so many different devices and so many different locations to supply with entertainment.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because I know when I was really getting into gaming and stuff, we're talking about like way back, like with the OG NES and the Sega Master System. Of course, I had the Sega Master System. Yeah, I mean, it's like, to me, it was like, okay, if Nintendo had this, they had that. If we had this, we had that. We left it at that, and if if any developer, felt like, making a cross-platform game or something, then okay, hey, applause. But we didn't like. I think this is like what they call a byproduct of the interwebs. Where it's like you got people who are like able to get their own platform, and by getting their own platform, they are getting these feelings of entitlement to things. I mean, it's like, I'm trying not to like really touch on any feelings there, but at the same time, it's like, this is all I can call it as, because everybody's got an opinion, and what better place to share them and gather those who are like-minded like you around that opinion than, of course, the internet.
Yeah,
well, that's been like the concept since like we invented this in '84, but it's not. The '84 wasn't really the actual broad, open launch of this new toy. That was in '94, because we all had to activate our broadband to allow more than just like 4 to 6 states access to the wonderful technology. And now we're about to all have it. So we're all about to have our Wi-Fi 6 and then our Wi-Fi 7 devices. And then everybody, no matter whether you be in the middle of a lake or down the street, you can all just say hi. But,
oh man, you set us up, man. You know we don't got that Wi-Fi 6 on Xbox.
I'll be honest with you, and I swear this ain't me fanboying and shit like that. I swear it's not. But I really don't care, because as long as I'm getting decent speeds, and from what I've been seeing from everybody, you will still get decent speeds.
Oh yeah, well it's going to be equal speed synchronization. So we all have equal speeds, no matter what the hell you are doing and no matter where you are playing from. And
I mean,
same question.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing with Wi-Fi 6 is that it just prioritizes that device, as far as every other device on your network goes. And that's why,
But we all want to have a network of Wi-Fi 6. That way data is less expensive to the device and the user that is using the device in general.
I mean, Xbox does that now, doesn't it? Doesn't it prioritize?
Yeah, but we want to reach that Japan signal.
But we're not even, at mass, 1 gigabyte per second. Wi-Fi 5 is, up to 3.5 gigabytes, I think.
You only need to activate xCloud. You only need 3G, and then 5G is the new standard right now.
Yeah, You're talking about mobile.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I use my my 5G Wi-Fi just for free access.
I got you. I was talking about home internet speeds are not even at the 1 gigabyte per second. So Wi-Fi 5 isn't even halfway saturated yet. So I think it's still got a lot of life in it. I think it's perfectly fine for the Xbox.
Well, I get Gigablast per month. Actually, that's what I use.
You have 1 gigabyte?
Yeah.
Oh shit, man.
Well,
Congrats.
I have unlimited 1 gigabyte, but yeah. But I want higher speeds because I want more devices connected to it.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny, 5G just came along, and already I've been seeing I think it was like CNET and all that stuff they were talking about. Like already they talking about.
Well,
they talking about 6G.
Are all sold out now. That sucks.
Yeah, they're talking about 6G already, and I'm like, hold on a second, man. 5 just got here.
Yeah, talking about 6, man. Sheesh.
Like, man, what the hell is y'all really doing?
Well, technically, all the band lists have, they always existed. It just weren't being used.
Oh yeah, in other words, they slowly pulling the curtain back.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wait till they get a load of this shit. But all right, but moving along to my next topic. So round 2 is looking at a tweet from Jason Ronald, and this is I guess to combat a lot of the complaints about, oh, the card is only 1 gig. Oh, that might not be enough. Which to me, it's like, how many fucking games you actually have?
You mean
Jason Ronald? Yeah, Jason Ronald stated that there was more or less more form factors, more options. Basically, he was saying there's more different types to come, which, to me, granted, this is a side of speculation with a slap of salt, that he more or less just gave us the hint, which is something I've already been saying before, is that what Seagate has going is a 1-year thing. Because I've seen console manufacturers that have worked with third parties to do something like a peripheral or whatever, but once the year or 6 months has passed, they will open the patent up to allow other manufacturers to do their own thing. So just like how we see this Seagate 1 terabyte card, and there was also there's a 2 terabyte they have also. They just haven't announced it yet.
Yeah, but I want that card. That's actually the card I want.
Yeah, because when Austin and Digital Foundry went to go do the breakdown, it was sitting on the table next to the 1 terabyte. So I can already see other manufacturers like PNY doing a cheaper card or something like that, or doing a smaller one that's 512 gigabytes, and just in other words, just more options. More options at different price plans, depending on how much your wallet is willing to sacrifice for you to get what you want. So moving along, Emmanuel, what do you think about that?
Man, I think it's a great thing. It's something I always expected. The port itself is proprietary, not the NVMe. So of course
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, Emmanuel. I think you cut out, man.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay. There you go.
I can hear you now. We hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I was saying, I think it's a great thing. I always expected it to happen. The port itself is proprietary, not the NVMe. So just like Apple has the Lightning cable, and opens that up to third-party makers. I always expected it, but for some odd reason, I had some people try to turn this into a negative thing. I guess there shouldn't be a surprise, but they tried to say that third parties have bad quality, so it's going to be inferior to the Xbox made one, which was really weird. Given you get what you pay for, but that was something that they were complaining about, that it was only Xbox making it and it should be third party. Now they're trying to spin it. So, of course, the narrative continues to change.
Every time. ODT, what do you think of that news?
Well, I don't think third parties look worse unless it's not a AAA. You can say a third party that's not a AAA looks bad, yes, but normally third parties are all AAA, wonderful multiplayer games. So normally they look gorgeous.
No, I was saying third party in relation to the NVMe expansion port.
Oh, okay. Oh no, I know what you're talking about now. Oh, okay, the ones that are not allowed to have access to the wonderful feature. No, I get it.
Yeah, like a PDP or Mad Cats back in the day.
Yeah, no.
Oh God, never again.
Mad Cats is bad quality. Mad Cats is bad quality.
Mad Cats costing me my first fucking Dreamcast. I'll never fucking forgive that shit ever.
Yeah, Mad Cats, man.
Oh shit.
Oh, they gotten better, boss. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I actually watched some reports on how quality is subjective and preference is subjective. Yeah, well, damn right, it's subjective. But I think it's just kind of why we all complain about why you like that, but I don't like that, or it's just like why are you complaining that I can go 50-0 and you go 0-50? Like that, like people just complain over the most bull BS is crap that doesn't really matter, except just to have fun.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
But I think it's all kind of fun. Now everybody's realizing T is actually higher than B and M, and now they realize they actually never went to school, so they don't understand math.
All right, but yeah, Sega Man, what do you think? What do you think about the flavor of that?
Well, this has to do with the memory, right?
Yeah, with the SSD card. Jason Ronald in a tweet earlier today was mentioning that there's more options, and coming our way, more options and form factors. And there's even people in the Reddit that I saw it on, which something I neglected to mention, where some of them were even speculating that I won't be surprised if they make a connector that you can like connect your external SSDs to.
Yeah. Well, you can buy a Seagate external SSD, right, to the Series X.
Yeah, and he's saying that there's more sizes and there's a possibility of other manufacturers making their own, such as like Western Digital and Kingston.
Yeah.
And, PNY, because I could already see PNY doing like a smaller, cheaper, like 512 gigabyte card or something like that.
Well, I don't see no harm in that, fellas. It might be a better option, a little cheaper price. I don't think they would make something for the Xbox Series X that's going to jeopardize it or do anything to harm or something happening to it. I can see maybe like a second party and some third parties, but they're not going to. I don't think they're going to make a product put on this high tech game system and something go wrong. I think it's probably good to do that. You know what I mean? Because it gives people different choices of what they want to choose when it comes to SSD and price. That might be a little too steep right now for the card. The one that Seagate is making for the Series X. You know what I mean? It's a nice card. It's cool. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's pricey. You know what I mean? But it's quality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to pay for quality. And if you have the extra money, you can do it. I mean, hell, you can buy your Series X, and if you have a One X laying around or something like that, you can trade that in and get that card. I mean, you can do something like that. Pay half on it, only like $100, maybe. You know what I mean? So it's an investment, but you don't need to get that right out of the box. You already got 1 terabyte in there already. The SSD that's in there. So I mean, you have an option to wait. You know what I mean? It's not like you're getting only 500 or something like that. You have 1 terabyte in there of SSD. So you could probably wait on that. I don't think the games are going to be that huge. You know what I mean? I mean, they're going to be, but I mean, it gives you time to wait for those prices to come down on those cards or external SSDs that you can, decide to get later. So I think it'll be all right with that. It just gives people different options, for these SSDs that come out, maybe at a better, more competitive price. So I think we'll be all good, man. You agree?
I think so, because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but as far as my gaming goes, I usually fluctuate between maybe 3 to 4 games, 4 games at the most. And I can tell you right now, if 4 games can't overload even with the DLCs, overload, my 500 gigabytes that I've been rocking on my Xbox One.
Yeah.
Then trust me, they're not going to be, overloading, my Series X. I don't see that. And as far as like my back compat stuff goes, as I was saying in like I think what was it, like the previous podcast we was in with E-Rock, shout out to him, is that in my case, I just take my back compat and just, put them, just if as long as the system recognizes it and allows it, which I think it will, I'll just use like a 500 gig thumb drive, and because I like having a small footprint instead of running cables. Plug that motherfucker in and transfer them over to there and just play them off of that. So that way that internal SSD is just nothing but just Series X and Series X enhanced games. Just rock with that, because majority of anything else, dude, you're going to be using probably Game Pass, and Game Pass, puts the the bare minimum of what you need on your hard drive. And Jason Ron already said it, man. These games may be big, but they're not going to be huge installs, because whereas like the old spin up platter drives and stuff, the mechanical drives, they had to like keep copying data in various little places, for redundancy. Whereas like, for like this right here, SSDs don't need to do that. So you don't have to worry about it. That's why they kept saying that install sizes are going to actually be smaller than what we're used to seeing right now.
Mm-hmm. And they gave us a even better option too, guys. Some of these games that they're going to be coming out with, you have the option to uninstall the multiplayer or uninstall the campaign. You can do either or. So that also cuts down on memory, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Can I add on to that segment?
Sure.
I saw something in my menu yesterday that I hadn't seen before, which was you can shrink the games down, which would be like removing the X enhancements. And I'm thinking, with this machine learning upscaling, if you want to, I think the games would still look nice if you just have them running at 1080p, but just have them upscale, by the machine learning. So you're running, a quarter of the size of the, game with the ray tracing and whatnot installed too. So I think that could be an option too.
Let me ask you guys a favor. You know the game Gears 5, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, and Gears, I think it was Gears 4 you can do with. Remember, you can either use the 4K assets or you can use, 60 frames per second? Remember, you could switch from 4K, I think it was performance to...
I think that's Gears 4. I think Gears 5 Gears 5 runs dynamic, runs locked 60, dynamic 4K. But yeah, Gears 4, Gears 4, there's an option. Yep.
Now you remember when you can switch back and forth, right? On Gears 4. Now, what did you guys, what did you like better? Did you like running it 4K or did you like the 60 frames per second?
60 looks better, man.
Yeah, because when you're playing multiplayer, especially when you're playing Horde or something like that, that was so super fast and it still looked great. You know what I mean? And then you can go back to the 4K and it 4K 30, and it still looked good. You know what I mean? Yeah. But a lot of people, when I used to play with it, used to always do, they wouldn't use the 4K when we would play like Horde or, or whatever on there. It still looked good. So what I'm saying is these new systems that we're getting out is going to have different options that you can do, especially Xbox. They're the kings of that, options. You know what I mean? To do, like you said, take out the 4K assets, like taking it out of the game and having it run 1080p. That's still going to look good on your OLED, QLED, or your 4K TV. It's still going to look fantastic. So I don't see a problem with that at all. But somebody always got to find something to, complain about that, man. It's still going to look good. You know what I mean? It's not like it's 720p and that's it or something. I mean, it's still going to look really good, even if you take stuff out.
Shout out to Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh man.
we get a lot of options over here, guys. You know that. I mean, it's an option. You know, you don't
It's
have to,
awesome,
or
man.
if you want to. Yeah,
What's wrong with options?
right.
And on something you were saying, Fireboss, you mentioned, just using external thumb drive or something. I was amazed to find out that still works with Quick Resume, man. So you still get benefits, of next gen, just using external.
Yep.
Yeah.
But for those listening, bear in mind that even though you can use USB, anything connected through the USB with Quick Resume, Series X games, Series X/S games won't run off of those.
Yeah, only the back compat. Yeah.
Yeah. So anything that's current gen Xbox One, OG Xbox, and 360, that's it. So anything because you gotta bear in mind that anything that is going to be next gen from now on out is going to be prioritizing making use of that SSD.
Like the medium.
Exactly. Thank you. So,
But you know what, guys? When we get these systems and we hook up our, because I have a 6 terabyte and an 8 terabyte Seagate, drive.
The game drive. Oh, damn.
Yeah, and when you hook these up to our newer systems, a lot of our 360 games, and I guess the OG games are going to look even better, right? On the Series X.
Yeah.
Yeah, they claim that through machine learning, it's supposed to upscale the way it needs to, so that it doesn't look too stretched or distorted or anything. Well, we'd have to see.
Yeah, so still like you're getting new games.
Right. When you load up some of these OG Xbox games, guys, I've played them on the OG Xbox, and then some of them were back and pat for 360, and it kind of looked better when you would play these OG Xbox on a 360. But when you see it on the One X, it's incredible. Like some of those Star Wars games, like Red Faction, all these games like Ninja Gaiden Black, they're beautiful games. It's like a new game all over again. Mm-hmm. It's awesome, man, what they can do over there,
Yeah, I couldn't even touch Ninja Gaiden 2 until I got on the One X.
Yeah, yeah. That game's not easy. It's not easy. When you get to those bosses, man. Shit.
I can do the difficulty. It was just the game. It was, I think the resolution is 540p on the 360.
Yeah.
And it bumps up to like 1800p. So it looks like a current gen game on that One X, man. It's just blurry as shit on the 360.
Yeah, it's amazing what they did with this back and pat. I mean, it's just amazing what they did, man. They did a good job,
Yes.
Actually, that's still something we haven't seen on the PS5.
No, they're only getting PS4 games, right?
Yeah, we just been seeing that. We just been seeing Astro's strip joint or whatever it is.
Astro's Playroom. That looks like a PS4 game.
They're showing like how quick it loads when you die, and I'm kind of like, I guess the only reason I'm not really overwhelmed about it is because it's like, depending on what game you're playing. I'm not saying, because I understand what they were getting at, because not every game does this, but there's already current gen games that are like this. Whereas once the level is loaded into memory, once you die, it'll put you right back, to where you was. But once again, that does depend on what game it is. So just to be fair. So moving along, there's also, I think I shared this earlier in our chat and everything like that, but right now I guess IGN is like pushing this thing about, they spoke to the developers of the new free to play JRPG, which is I believe it's a game as a service that's apparently is Genshin Impact, is apparently exclusive to only the PlayStation 4, the PC, but it soon will be coming to the PlayStation 5 and the Switch. But when they asked the developer of any plans for Xbox, of course, as you can guess, this developer just flat out stated no. Now,
Oh man.
yeah, it's kind of, and for lovers like Emmanuel and myself with JRPGs, that's kind of a throat punch. Like, I got you, motherfucker. And it's
Did
like,
he did he say is it just did he say, did he give any indication why, or he just flat out just said no?
they flat out said no. And basically, I'm going into that, and then I'm going to get you guys' thoughts about it. I believe we're dealing with a developer that seems to have a old, dated mindset that's still based in the early years of this current gen. Whereas, like, the Xbox One, we'll admit it. All right, PlayStation guys, will admit it. We couldn't get any fucking ground whatsoever over there. All right.
Yeah.
And they're looking at that, and they're thinking to themselves like, oh well, who bothers with an Xbox? Because they're thinking about well, it's kind of like this. You can't even say they're thinking about only their side of the globe, because if that was the case, why bother localizing the game to run over on this side of the globe? And
Yeah.
it can't be, exclusive to just PlayStation, because it's available also on PC. It can't be an issue of power, because I mean, that, to be honest with you, that's kind of you get what I'm saying about that,
Yeah.
because we have the power. So it can't be an issue of power, because it's going to be coming to the Switch. So to me personally, I'm seeing this where it's a bias attitude mixed in with I guess you could say not doing the appropriate research to realize that, because I mean, the thing is, just hitting up anywhere on social media, they can look and see that, oh, hey, things are looking pretty positive with Xbox now. Huh. There seems to be a very high adaptability rate with this Game Pass thing. Because if you don't want to make a physical disc, then just put it on Game Pass, bro. See how it does.
Yeah.
See how it does on that. But apparently they didn't seem to want to bother with doing that. So bringing it to a close before I get everybody else's opinion on it is that things like this right here is exactly why I really hope and pray to God that Phil is going to hold to his long-standing promise he had, because I tweeted the guy and he responded back to me that they're working on it in regards to regaining JRPG support for the platform.
I was just going to say, all he asks is patience. That's why patience is the key word.
and that's the thing. And see, and plus a lot of the things I keep coming across, because speaking to Emmanuel before, whereas, dude, I meant what I said of all the stuff that I found online just by Googling from the interview with Sakaguchi and everything, that the man really wants to come back. He really wants to come back to console. And I know everybody keeps responding to me like, oh man, he's doing great on Apple Arcade. No, the fuck he isn't.
Yeah. The games look interesting, but yeah, I think he would rather be on console.
Yeah. And plus he's already aware of the power, and that's why I keep saying that I wouldn't be one bit surprised if he was shipped a dev kit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And are you aware that he vehemently hates PlayStation?
Oh, dude, he tolerates Square, but it's we discussed it before. Oh man, they do him dirty ever since the movie Spirits Within flopped, and him along with a small handful of other people shouldered the blame alone for its failure. They were completely ousted out of the industry. So aside from mobile games and that one game, the last story done for the Wii U, he hasn't been hitting on anything, and he's been steadily trying to like get back with Nintendo to let him do a sequel to Last Story. They won't touch him. Basically, the way the Japanese is they have this thing, whereas once you are tainted, you're completely shunned. Square only deals with him, and he joked about it in an interview, whereas they'll fly him over just to speak to new hires.
Yeah.
And they'll take him out to dinner for a few drinks, put him on a plane, and send him right back to Hawaii, because he lives in Hawaii now.
Yeah, Jesus, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, so the thing is, that's, to me, it's like it would be.
Would you want to sit on a 6-hour flight just to have a drink?
If they're paying for it. Because I mean, hell, dude, from there, I mean, you can just like jump into a taxi, go visit your family and your friends, let them know you're alive, and then they fly you back too. That's all on their ticket. So, ball till you fall. So
Sure, he's getting a nice consultation fee for that.
yeah, but but to me, it's like things like this right here with the Genshin Impact situation. And dude, I can imagine that for Itagaki, the one responsible for Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden,
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised how dirty they do him,
Oh yeah.
because they're based in Canada. So yeah, it's like that, and to me, it's like, it would be just the best thing if Phil just grabs these guys. Because they all have, because the thing about them is that they both have positive relations with Microsoft. They both have had good experiences working on Xbox. So to me, it's like, send these dudes dev kits, man. Don't worry about what the so-called situation was with them being let go from their companies. Because when Miss Walker was under Xbox, there was no issue about him being fired because of Spirits Within. And supposedly the situation with Itagaki is, take it with a grain of salt, look it up yourself. If anybody wants to correct me on this, of course, without being an ass, please don't be an ass. About this, supposedly he was let go because a female employee claimed that he groped her.
Really?
Oh, shit.
Mind you, this is a dude that had a loving family, had to be a loving family, because the only way Ninja Gaiden wound up on the Nintendo DS was because of his daughter.
Yeah.
His daughter was the reason why Ninja Gaiden got on there. And many times they hit the heads of Tecmo and stuff like that, the heads of them, as well as the Japanese gaming industry was always breathing down this dude's throat, warning him like, why would you make this for the new Nintendo? Why would you make this for the PlayStation 3? He didn't want to.
Yeah.
Nope.
Because
He liked
they had to
the
get a different
Xbox.
team.
yeah. So dude, they already had it cooked up to have him out the door. So to me, it's like, with situations like this is the one last big hurdle Phil has to deal with as far as over there goes. It's good seeing that, now we're starting to see them start to gravitate towards the brand now and give it a chance. That's great. But at the same time, you still have the media as well as the other developers who still have this very soured outlook based off of the regime that doesn't even run Xbox anymore, which was Don Matrick's camp.
Right.
It's like dealing with a lot of these toxic PlayStation fans. They don't seem to comprehend this is not Don Matrick no more. Why are you still thinking this is Don Matrick? That's actually what's frustrating me, because it's almost like they even take Phil and equate him to Don Matrick.
Yeah, that got annoying after a while.
So yeah. So to me, it's like I would love to see. It's like instead of trying to fight to get these guys to turn over, and also PSA, a little bit of a PSA here. Please do not do like those PlayStation fans and hit up change.org talking about we
Oh
want to
God.
see Genshin Impact. No port begging. I don't want to see none of your port beg. Don't beg for nothing. Don't beg for a damn thing. Instead,
Yeah.
the only thing that I encourage everybody to do is just tweet out to Phil and just, even if he don't answer, even if he is like, even if he already has it in mind, just make it solidified and just say, hey, Phil, you had great relations with Grounded Inc., the guys responsible for Phantom Dust and Crimson Dragon. You had good, yeah. Matter of fact, Yoshio used to work for Microsoft anyway. So yeah, and, he still hangs out with with them every once in a while. So to me, it's like you got Grounded Inc., you got Itagaki, and his Valhalla Soft. They're not hitting on anything right now. So and Sakaguchi. Sakaguchi wants to reboot Lost Odyssey. He wants to reboot it bad with the current gen technology.
Oh my God, the RPG game needs that, man. That would bring back traditional turn-based RPGs.
And I mean, and there's so much stuff he could do with it. If he bases a lot of stuff around the newer tech, I mean, it could break a lot of ground. And then it's like, to me, it's like there's no point fighting with this. Just go with what go with what worked, and that's the way I see it. So sorry how long drawn out that was, but Sega Man, what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, you guys, you and Emmanuel into turn-based RPGs?
Oh hell yeah, man! It's like my favorite genre.
Oh, cool. Well, as far as that guy, what's the game called? Genshin?
Yeah, Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's just like you said, Fire Boss. It's just that old mentality of thinking over there. It's really a slap in the face to diehard RPG turn-based fans like you guys. You know what I mean? If it's going to be a free-to-play game, I just don't understand the reason of keeping it off of there. I mean, look how Japan embraced Xbox Series X and S.
Don't forget Game Pass as well. Game Pass and xCloud.
Yeah.
They embrace those.
xCloud.
So you can't tell me it's not going to work on either one of those. That's what doesn't make sense to me.
That's just ridiculous because in the history of gaming, guys, you have to admit it. That made history for them to embrace an American console. It was so hard for Xbox to do anything over there, especially with the OG, and then the 360 did a little better. But I mean, I don't understand that, man. I mean, I've seen videos on it, how they were excited about the Series S and X, Game Pass and everything. Some of that at the Tokyo Game Show. When I watched the version with Phil Spencer, you could see how happy some of those developers were. Like that one guy that just made that game by himself. You know what I mean? They showed him. And I don't understand it, guys. It's that old mentality or that old thinking, man. What is that going to prove to just keep it on those systems and not just put it on the Xbox? What's it going to hurt? To be honest with you, it's not going to hurt anybody. Putting it over, on the Xbox side, a free to play game.
Oh yeah, put it because it's free. Yeah, no, it won't. It will just create more options for the player.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And then is there going to be like stuff you can buy in it on these other systems? Like, is there going to be like skins and packs and stuff like that?
Probably.
Well, then it would be more money if they put it on Xbox too.
Well, yeah, and then it's more options. And why does it honestly matter if it's more money? Like, and you try presenting that to a fanboy, they don't understand what more money means or more in general.
It's just more money for them. So I don't understand why they won't do that. It'll be a lot more money because there's a lot of Xbox fans out there that like turn-based RPGs like Emmanuel and Fireboss. There's a lot of people out there that like it on the Xbox. So it would bring in more revenue for them. So it's stupid to do something like that, guys. I don't understand it.
Well, the turn base hasn't always been, a popular standpoint on console. It's always been popular on PC because it's
by the way, guys, this game right here, Genshin Impact, it's not turn based. Sorry about that confusion. It's
action. Yeah, action RPG.
Oh, it's an action RPG.
It's like a Zelda Breath of the Wild, from my understanding, right?
Yeah. That because matter of fact, when it was very first introduced, it got a lot of flack because of that, because people were calling it a Breath of the Wild ripoff.
Yeah.
Really?
I prefer action RPGs and not turn-based. So don't give me turn-based. Turn-based is living crap out of me.
So you're part of the problem, man.
I'm the problem that says everybody should be able to play anywhere they want. Doesn't mean I necessarily have to play it though.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, see, the thing is, he's actually part of the side of the coin for JRPGs that a game like Ease,
or Diablo. I loved my Diablo 3 on console. I ain't gonna lie, that was fun.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about like Japanese wise. I was talking about like games like Ease. It's pronounced Ease, but it's actually Y with the apostrophe S. Like,
I heard Ease.
Yeah, a game like that would be like perfect for players like you, where you like something that has a dash of Zelda with action and stuff like that. And of course you said Diablo that has your grinding and your looting as well too.
Yeah, so do you do that also in Lost Odyssey?
I believe so.
Oh no, Lost Odyssey is straight up turn based.
Yeah,
straight up turn based.
I call that the real Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah. I'm an original PC grinder, so that's technically what I'm built for. But just depends on how hard the grind is. RuneScape is one of the hardest grinding I've ever actually had to go through, and then you can go from WoW to Counter-Strike all the way up to any multiplayer.
Fireboss, if you're saying that's like Breath of the Wild, do you know how many Xbox fans would love to play that kind of RPG? It'd be more money for them. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
Dude, we're talking about the motherland that find it acceptable for a dude to blow into a controller like he's having sex with it. Maji. Like,
my god.
I mean, dude, I'm sorry. I felt fucking sexually attacked. I'm bracing up like oh my god, why is he doing that? Having waking nightmares and shit. What's up? Oh shit, it was a dream.
Well, I remember that Third Age game on the OG Xbox. That was the last turn-based I think I ever played, besides Budokai 2.
Yeah, there's a lot, and see, the thing is, there's a lot of JRPGs that Microsoft actually owns, because even though Sakaguchi is the one who created it, they completely own the rights to Lost Odyssey as well as Blue Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is, I believe they have a thing where it's like, they try not to leave him out. I mean, at least I would imagine. And plus, on top of that, they also own Infinite Undiscovery, which granted it didn't score that high, and not too many people thought much about it. That was my jam. I loved Infinite Undiscovery, because the way the gameplay was, it had action, but it was also kind of like Final Fantasy 12, and I love Final Fantasy 12's gameplay. Hate Square, but love Final Fantasy 12.
Yeah, I wish they would have continued on with the Final Fantasy 12 battle system.
I don't know why they didn't, man. It was new, it was fresh.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I didn't like about it was it just didn't make any sense if you moved your character behind something and it still did its little attack animation, you still get hit.
Mm.
Yeah, that's always annoying. I enjoyed the Kingdom Hearts 3 mechanics though.
Of course, because it's action. So,
Well,
but
Can I I was like, can I jump in? Can I jump in on that question, Fireboss?
oh yeah, man.
Okay. Yeah, I had a lot going through my mind when you brought that up. The first thing that jumped out at me was Phantasy Star Online 2, which the Xbox does have. So in my head, I think, this is something like Sony paying them off to not put it on there. But then the next thing that I thought about was Quantum Error, that the former PS5 exclusive, which they're now putting on Xbox, and they said it would never come to Xbox. So I do think there's a possibility there. And to give Phil some credit, I just claimed this perk yesterday on Xbox Game Pass with Funimation Premium Plus for 2 months. So I just got anime free for 2 months. So they're definitely trying to reach out to the the Japanese market, or people who appreciate Japanese things. And also we do have Tango Gameworks. So that is one Japanese studio that Phil does have, and I think they got some bangers coming out.
They attached the Hiei character on that fighting game. I forgot what that one was called.
Dead or Alive?
No.
You talking about Steve on Smash Brothers?
Oh, Smash Brothers. Yes. Oh no, he said an EA character.
No, I said Hiei character is what I said from Yu Hakusho.
The shonen fighting game.
Yeah, that one.
Oh my god, that game's trash.
You got both DBC and that as well. Yeah, you got both.
Yeah, but as far as Genshin Impact, man, it looks. I'm not really interested in a Genshin Impact, man. I think they can have that one. I think Xbox possibly messed up more by not having that stupid ass Fall Guys game. Either that or Among Us. But PlayStation doesn't have that either.
Yeah, the Fall Guys game is supposedly actually coming to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when. I mean, I trust.
Fighter Z, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's what it's called. Fighter Z. Forgot what that shit was called.
Okay. But when it comes to exclusivity and stuff like limited exclusivity or timed exclusivity, I trust Western developers more than I do Eastern. Trying not to be like my homeboy E-Rock on this and everything. And the only reason is because when it comes to Square, and it's like everybody gets upset when I say it, but this is how I feel. Anything we get from them is table scraps. That's just the way I see it. And it's not just them.
To a degree.
It's not just them. It's like, a lot of other, RPG developers out there. It just seems like we Xboxers keep being left in the dark. And it's all because of an old mindset. And Square, Square doesn't seem to make the effort to at least, feed us, some good content, unless it's something that they feel they can get an easy, quick buck off of. Because look at how long, and you can't say it won't work over here because it comes out on the PlayStation 4 over here.
They do have the that Game Pass partnership where they're bringing all the Final Fantasies to Game Pass. Eventually we got 7, we got 7, we got 9, we got 15. So I do think they're Square is opening up. I think Capcom is a huge potential partner for Xbox. They had the whole Western expansion plan at one point. So I think they're a prime candidate to work with. DMC5 came into Game Pass 2 months after release. So I think that Japanese connection is opening up, with Xbox.
I can see Resident Evil taking a new turn with Xbox.
Oh shit, man! Yeah.
I think, but the thing about it is that I have a feeling that because now he's a part of Xbox, Tango Studios, the guy who's the creator of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that now that he has that unbridled funding and all that unbridled freedom But as far as like being an Xbox game studio now, I think he's gonna probably try to just low key focus on doing anything he can to blow Resident Evil out the water.
Yeah, he's got that AAA money now. Yeah, it could happen.
Hey, bitch, remember me? Remember me? Yeah, I mean, I can see him like when people start to go to E3 again. I can see him going across the stage, holding him by the collar. You remember who I am? What's my name? Look me in the eye.
I look forward to playing the new Assassin's Creed this year, though.
Valhalla.
Yeah.
Dude, it's good. It's good that they were able. I knew they were going to eventually be able to do it, but I'm telling you right now, the engine that they were using was going to give them problems. So I'm glad they worked that out. So now it can do the 60. It can do the 60 frames, but that also has me worried as to how much finagling they. If it's the same engine, I'm just wondering how much finagling they had to do to eke out those 60 frames.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it'd be kind of interesting if we see Ubisoft go straight into Microsoft and Game Pass for all Assassin's Creed games.
Oh God, please no.
And Watch Dogs and all that fun stuff. But like I considering how long that franchise has been there, I mean, could do with something new.
I don't know, man. The impression I get from Jim Sterling is Ubisoft is not quite a good company.
Well, they're going broke, so I would dearly hope that's a factual statement. But that doesn't mean they're going to stay that way. But yeah, it's just like
I was talking about all of the all the legal problems that they have and whatnot.
Yeah, well, that's why we call fire everybody and then rehire everybody and then have a new set of workers and then just restart.
Yeah.
Turn that wonderful Ubisoft franchise into an app, then you'd be all set.
Yeah, it's funny because to me it's funny you said that about the app thing. To me it's like it seems like it's like a lot of real bad decisions too, because here you got EA partnering up for Game Pass. So you would think that the most logical next partner would be Uplay from Ubisoft, right? No, they go and partner with Amazon for their Luna platform.
Are they with Stadia too, or just Amazon?
No, I think it's I don't know. Maybe it might have been changed, but last I looked, it's supposed to be like an exclusive deal with Uplay on Luna.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think they're going to come to Game Pass and stuff like that. So
Oh, you said it's exclusive.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, shit.
Like I said, I need to double check that to make sure. So please, folks, anybody watching, take that with a grain of salt. And if you want, you can look it up yourselves and feel free to even correct me in the comments, but don't be a douche. Please don't, because two douches don't make it right. So but yeah, anything else from you, Emmanuel?
On the Genshin topic.
No, just, moving on to the next topic.
No, yeah, I'm ready for the next topic.
Alrighty. Yeah, what about you, Sega Man? You got anything?
Do you guys think that before we move on, do you think that Luna and Stadia, do you think these companies are going to do very well in the gaming, or?
I personally think the one with the most server support will do well. The one with not so much will drain, or it will join the other one.
So Luna?
Yeah, but I'm going to guess it's going to be Amazon, and then you're going to have your xCloud. But as I've said throughout the year, everything's going to end up in one location anyway. We don't care.
Yeah.
But the signal connection is what we're all working very hard to make sure it happens, because otherwise it won't have connection worldwide. And that's the other thing that we're all complaining about right now is the expansion for the online servers. How we opened the floodgates and everybody just got hacked.
Yeah.
To me, the thing is, I actually agree with that because Google's Google's track record when it comes to any sort of new tech and stuff like that is they are very quick to abandon stuff. And I'm shocked that they're holding as long as they have with Stadia. So I actually applaud them on that. And options. That's the way I look at it, is balance and options. So it would be good if they could find them some sort of a foothold. But realistically, I can't see it happening. I see more of a foothold, coming into place for Amazon, because Amazon seems to be making more of the effort to get their hands on studios, and they seem to understand what having exclusives mean. Google doesn't seem to be doing that. I mean, as far as I know, I believe they do have some AAA studios. I can't remember the names of them, but last I remember, they did, I think, acquire like one studio. I need to look that stuff up. I apologize. So, but the thing is, between them and Amazon, last I remember, I think Amazon has like five freaking studios.
Man.
So yeah, Amazon is not fucking around. And plus, like the situation with that hero shooter that they were doing, that they recalled. They put it out for public beta and they recalled it. Yeah, I mean, that's to me that's no different than the Halo Infinite situation. So I'm gonna imagine it's probably gonna be a bit of a beast when they finally zero in on what the complaints were and they push it back out there, because they seem to be able to do. They seem to be competent with games because they have an MMO that's supposed to be coming out that a lot of people are very anxious to get their hands on, because supposedly in the beta, it's pretty damn good. So yeah, so Phil had a reason to be wary of those two, but I'd say out of the two, I think the one that was to be more concerned with was going to be Amazon. Because Google may have the capital, but they don't. I don't know what it is. It's like for a company that's been around longer than
Amazon shares the other control of the Azure control. So, and because we're all trying to unify everything, we're working with Microsoft and Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's more than the signal and stream speeds and everything, man. It's about the fact that if you're going to make a gaming platform, one of the things that you would consider that you need is exclusives. You need bangers that are going to be, you need app killers, man. You need killer apps.
Or at least third-party content.
Yeah, but
Google has nothing.
I'm going to argue that down the line into the future generation, exclusives aren't going to matter, because everything's all going to be at the fingertips of options of the player. So it really won't matter where everything is. It's going to matter on the device that you prefer to play on, what controller you prefer, what settings you love so much, whether you be a monitor, a tablet, or a PC, or a wonderful 65-inch television. But we have to get that stigma, as Segaman was talking about earlier, with that old mindset, because everybody still thinks we are sitting in front of a 1995 screen and not 2020. So the problem is that if you get everybody with just options, and it just matters on what you like to play as or how you like to play, how is the other concept that no one understands. But exclusives aren't going to matter soon, because everything's just going to be in one location. It's going to matter just how well you like to play, or how much. I'm going to argue how much, because if you basically keep your television on all the time like myself, your house is going to be about 85 degrees.
Yeah, well, I think the concept of exclusives is going to last even going into next generation. I mean, I agree with you that eventually it's going to taper off, but it's one of those things where it's like, what's the point of getting into developing any hardware if you have the same thing as the next guy? There's there's people that just won't bother buying it. I mean, Sega Man. I mean, you like me, lived through the video game crash, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
With Atari and ColecoVision and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, for a while they each had their own, exclusives and everything. But when they all started having the same exact thing, and it was all the exact same quality of the dot chasing the other dot, it just the quality just wasn't there. And then along comes Nintendo and they reinvent the wheel and they bring out these games that you don't see on the Sega Master System, and the Sega Master System finally comes over here because, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Sega Master System was before the Famicom, at least over in Japan.
Yeah, I believe it was.
Yeah, and so you got games on the Master System that are not on the NES. So I mean, yeah, there was a few cross-platform titles, but because of those titles and everything, those had a lot of people lean towards them. Me, I loved the hell out of Shinobi. I wasn't going to get Shinobi off of NES.
Yeah. Shinobi's a great game.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just so. Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm not disagreeing with you because there will come a time when it does taper off, but because if that was the case, I think the way Phil was operating when he first came into Power would still be the norm. But if you noticed, he shifted that now. Because even in the interview that he had, I believe it was an IGN. I don't think it was McCaffrey, but it was an IGN interview he had. Whereas there was like asking him about like keeping, I guess you could say about like keeping the mentality of sharing more Xbox games with other platforms and everything. He made it clear that no, that was not happening.
Yeah.
Because even he had to wake up and understand that I guess you could say it's kind of like the situation with what Don Matrick was trying to do, because people will argue with you saying that, oh, well, look at us now. We're doing it now. Well, yeah, that's true. But to me, it's a thing of timing. And I believe what Matrick was trying to push, the timing was not there.
Yeah, no. Well, when Matrick wanted to do that, he kind of was trying to get everybody to go digital before they wished to go digital.
Yeah. And so more or less, he probably already had the blueprints, on his desk for something akin to Game Pass. And that could have been what, all this was kind of like drawing towards. But once again, man, it's timing. And I believe that's what happened, especially in that interview, because that was the most heated, and I mean in a competitive sense, I've ever seen Phil's expression ever be, where he was like, no, we are focusing on us. That's what, because see, originally I wasn't a Phil Spencer fan. I'll admit that I really wasn't, but that interview right there turned me the fuck around. Because I'm like, yes. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing PlayStation fans talk about they feel like kings. They're being made to feel like second class citizens. What about you, Xbox? Look what he think about you. Well, now the shoe's on the other foot. What does your PlayStation think about you guys? They don't.
We eating good, man.
Yeah. So I feel spoiled.
You don't even have a spokesman come out and talk for them at all. Phil comes out and talks. Nobody comes out and talks to the PlayStation fans.
Yeah.
No.
They
very,
really don't.
very pretentious and impersonal.
It's old. It's the old mentality. That's what it is. It's the old mentality as if they're still running the business as if it was the 90s. I mean, they don't even interact with anybody on social media. I mean, Phil,
Nope.
Not all the time. He'll even answer you Depending, Aaron will even answer you. Matt will answer you. Jason Ronald will answer you. So it's, I guess you could say it's a thing of who's more in touch.
Yeah.
So, but moving the train along.
Can I add one quick point to Sega Man's question?
Oh yeah,
a real quick point. Just about the Amazon Luna versus Google. One thing we left out is that Amazon does have Twitch, so that is a potential way for them to plug Luna. So I think that will I think that will also work into its advantage. Although Google has YouTube. YouTube isn't exclusively focused on gaming, whereas Twitch has a lot of gaming on it. So
yeah, you're right.
I think it'll be easier for them to plug it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that too. Oh man, well, good point. But all right, well, I guess my last topic that I'm going to throw onto the fire is there. All right, dudes, it's been confirmed that there is another Xbox event coming up this month.
Ooh, yes.
Ooh,
nice.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah. Now, I'm hearing talk that now. See, we're close, and they're talking about somebody's talking about the 9th, and I'm like, the 9th. That's coming up pretty damn close. But
the 8th tomorrow.
Yeah, and then somebody else said something about no, it's going to be the 28th. So we don't have an exact date, but we do have confirmation that a new show is coming. Starting with you, ODT, what do you expect we're going to see at this show?
I think we're going to see surprises because we're still not done yet. But what those surprises might be, who knows? But I'm going to guess that it's going to be more studios and possibly some unveiling to some games that are about to be released, whether they be exclusive or not.
Phil's going to do it like the Nvidia guy. He's going to do it from his kitchen. I bake cookies.
Yeah, right.
What about you, Emmanuel? What would you be looking for from this show?
I think actually something might come tomorrow, man. Like you mentioned, there's a show tomorrow on the 8th. That's the preview for Zen 3. There was rumors that that's the AMD thing tomorrow. There was rumors that PS3 has some future architecture. Well, it could be Xbox. It was a surprise announcement. Right after the PS5 reveal. So this could be something with Xbox. Saying that it's part of the future architecture, and they might preview something with Series X tomorrow. If not, there is another show on the 28th, which I think is just all of the Ryzen 2 and all that shit. So it could be either one. I'm looking forward to a Capcom acquisition, man. I think that's in the cards, either Capcom or Miss Walker. So hopefully we get that at the reveal. Hopefully we get at least an hour, and I want to see not just gameplay. I want to see a person with controller in hand playing the game. That's what I want to see.
And the thing is, it's funny you say that, because it's like even the people who have their Series X's right now, even they are saying there's more coming and more going on. And the problem is that they can't show us. You notice it's like they only stay on the main screen of the UI. And only one person has bothered to go into the drive. I guess the hard drive information, but even he had that screen capped to a point to where you couldn't see anything else that was supposedly installed on those units.
Yeah.
So and they all keep saying the same thing. Slowly but surely, bits and pieces of their embargoes are being lifted.
Yeah.
So you might be hitting on something right there because now that I think about it, it's like
you said the 9th?
Tomorrow, the 8th.
Oh, the 8th. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's ahead of schedule then.
But it is just AMD specifically, so it could be nothing with Xbox, but it could be related.
It's the AMD information first, and then everything else.
This might be what they were waiting on, because there's been a lot of people saying that one of the reasons it wasn't because the dev kits were sent out later compared to the PS5's dev kits, because like we keep saying, PS5 jumped the gun. Is they keep saying that there are certain criteria with the RDNA 2 stuff between Microsoft and AMD, where they can only let go of certain bits and pieces of things until AMD does their blowout. This could this could be the Godzilla's foot kicking the dam in.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully.
This is the yeah. I mean, this is the fucking Attack on Titan. Kicking the fucking gate in and shit. Letting all these crazy motherfuckers loose. But yeah, Sega man, what are your thoughts about this, man? What would you expect to see at this show?
Well, we could possibly see. I'm starting to really think what Hebot said. I think there might be an announcement. This is just a theory, man. I think there might be an announcement of them buying another studio. I think it might be Sega, man.
Mm-hmm.
Something's up there, man. I think it's gonna have to deal with Sega, man. I think they might be buying Sega. Or it's gonna be something big from Sega, man. Something, man, because it's just there's been a lot of speculation about that, man. Them and Sega, they've been friends for a long time, brothers. You know what I mean? I think something's gonna happen with Sega at that event. We're gonna see something, man.
It was the old Sega though, because this current Sega is not even the same guys. These are like shareholders, because Sega Sammy is actually a holdings firm, and that's why we only see like 1 or 2 games a year, and one of them is usually a Sonic game.
Yeah.
And anything else that's decent usually comes from like any of the guys underneath them who are still actual developer studios, such as like Atlas and what's the other one? Xseed, I think.
Yeah.
So
is it Xseed? Yeah. Atlas is one of them.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, because dude, the thing to me is like, if that is actually true though, then that would actually give Microsoft a very huge foothold into not just Japan but just the Asian market, period. Plus, remember something I stated before where I was like it would be a cool idea if Jason Ronald and Phil approached Sega with these like stripped down version of the Series X and S motherboards to put in cheaper built arcade cabinets, and that would help them like buff up and introduce next gen gaming into the arcades, because remember, arcades are still big over there in Japan. And the biggest owner of arcades and amusement centers and amusement parks is still Sega.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So that type of power would be perfect for, say, like actual sit down virtual rides.
Yeah.
Bringing in just imagine, dude, Afterburner, Outrun, Space Harrier running at 120 frames per second.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
That would be sweet, man. That would be sweet if they can do something like that, man.
So basically, in your case, Sega man, if any little kid comes over trying to put a quarter by you, you're gonna slap that quarter away. You're like, I got next.
Yeah, but if there's gonna be another event, man, that's gonna be, they've been really surprising us. You know that, guys, and Microsoft has really been playing chess, and they've been playing chess very well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, we got surprised with a lot of stuff with them, man. We really did. I mean, they're playing chess, man. They're in this to win. You know what I mean?
Starting with the Game Awards. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're right, Emmanuel. The people's jaw dropped when he did that, man. I mean,
You probably.
Go ahead.
I think that really hurt his pride, personally. I think Jeff really had his pride, hurt after that accident.
Because the thing is, he didn't even know that that's what it was.
Nope, he didn't.
It's funny because I can imagine him saying, okay, yeah, whatever. He's like playing around on a smartphone, like updating his Twitter, and he's like, hey, Jeff, you mind if we play this little video here? Oh yeah, sure, whatever, go ahead. And then all of a sudden he gets the Xbox One. He looks up, jaw drops, and he's looking over at Phil. He's looking over at Phil, and Phil doesn't even Phil. The thing about Phil is that it's not even anything malicious. He's just probably looking at Jeff, thinking he's enjoying it too, and he's like smiling, giving him a thumbs up, like, "Hey, you enjoyed it, dude?"
Yeah, you're right. He probably does. I mean, I think Phil is very strategic, and holds his cards tight to his chest. They always try to get answers out of him, and they never get them.
Phil enjoys everything. Phil just loves the fun of gaming in general, and he's always been that way, all the way back from the very beginning.
It's just like the Bethesda thing. He didn't dude, I'm telling you right now, that wasn't maliciousness. That was just him like, oh, I wonder why they don't like our platform. Oh, we don't have any games? Well, I guess I can finalize this deal with Bethesda and we'll have more games. Hey guys, look, we got games.
Yeah.
We didn't mean that. That wasn't what we meant.
It's funny that they say that, but their launch exclusives were better than PlayStation's.
Oh yeah, they were.
But then you got all the PlayStation ponies that don't understand how. They don't understand how. They have only like 15 million subscribers, and PlayStation has like over 100 consoles sold, or 100 million, and I'd be like, Microsoft still makes more money. Case closed.
Yeah.
Right.
Lower engagement numbers. That's mainly why.
Yeah, but that's because it's on a subscription model now. It's no longer on a hardware model, unlike Sony. And if
you're
Sony
saying lower engagement on Sony, right?
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. Well, that's what he's saying. Yeah. But I'm saying, now that we have all the devices with xCloud, it will just multiply, and it will just go everywhere. But the problem is Sony is hardware secured only.
Yeah.
That kind of sense. You don't have an open platform.
That's why Ryan was stating that something like Game Pass wouldn't so-called benefit them, which it kind of would. I mean, hell, it would benefit the hell out of Nintendo. But the thing about it is that
it can't benefit them now because the silicone is Microsoft's now.
Yeah, they well, that as well as the servers. If they had their own servers,
and then get the silicone. You got to do the silicone second because with all the handhelds as well, that applies as well. And that's also kind of the fun thing with the PlayStation ponies that we all see crying everywhere, and no one understands why Microsoft makes more money than Sony when it's really Sony, renting, the service to actually produce entertainment in general. It's not them doing it.
Yeah, who got who on what corner?
Yeah,
shaking that thing for that dough.
Oh man.
But for what I'm looking for, I'm not changing my prediction for every time that I keep saying it. I don't know why they keep ducking and dodging it, but as I keep saying it, and I'll say it again, fellas, don't forget. Ever since June, there's two studios that the rumors kept saying were acquired, and for some odd reason, Microsoft is not announcing them yet. There's two studios, one Polish, one Japanese. I am hoping that the Japanese studio gets announced, and that Japanese studio is Mistwalker.
Oh yeah,
because it makes too much damn sense for it to be them. Because I mean, the only other one I can think of that is out there in the speculations is this newer studio called White Owl. And because there's supposedly a game in the works for the Series X from them. Yoshio from Grounded Inc. is one of the people helping them with the game. So I'm really hoping that I'll put it like this. It's a toss-up between either Mistwalker or Yoshio's Grounded Inc. Because he's chomping at the bit to get that Phantom Dust 2 going. because ever since they showed the trailer, those mini E3s back and stuff like that, he already stated in an interview that no, the game is real. We want to do it. So the ball is on Phil and Matt from there. But the Polish acquisition, if they do reveal these, the Polish acquisition, I'm still thinking is Bloober. So I know a lot of people are thinking the Farm or Techland, and it could be Techland because the Dying Light 2 has went quiet. These and within what was it, the past month or so, we haven't heard anything else from them.
Yep. Same happened with those Bethesda games.
I believe the Dying Light 2 got canceled, but I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, I agree with ODT that I really would like to see them reveal some, some new acquisitions, and hopefully it's those two. As long as I hear Miss Walker within there, I'm done. I'm it's a wrap for me. I'm good.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I definitely want to see. I mean, dude, even if it's just 2 games, because these teams, we got to be fair. You can't bleed it. You can't bleed a turnip. So we got to be fair. So even if it's just 2 games that are running on the Series X hardware, to me, it's like that should be enough to, to pretty much shut everybody up. I know everybody wants more and craves more, but let's face it. Look at, even at the other camp. How much have they shown as well either?
Not much.
Yeah. So I'm gonna imagine seeing a updated gameplay vid of Halo Infinite because it's scary how quiet they have went.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I wouldn't be surprised if we hear something about Infinite news in the next couple days.
Yeah.
We forgot about the initiative.
Oh yeah. And because that is right, because Matt did leave it off from the show saying that there's other ones that we have not mentioned.
Yeah.
So raise your hands. Who's gonna freak out if they do like a Metroid Prime 4 styled logo flash of Banjo and Kazooie?
God. Not me.
So, but anyways, that's pretty much it. That's about all the topics I had, man. I mean, unless any one of you got anything yourselves.
I did have a quick question for you, Fireboss and Sega Man, real quick. Y'all had mentioned the game crash, living through the game crash. I just wanted to ask, like, from y'all's perspective, like, were you cognizant of it going on, or was it just like something that just happened, or could you see like the game industry like actually eroding before your eyes? Like how was that?
For me, yes, it was very much an erosion before my eyes. It as a kid growing up, throughout those times, throughout the 80s, the 80s still fucking awesome time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, there was like so much stuff to do already, and despite the crash, there was still the arcades and stuff, and the arcades were still, arcade machines were pretty much became the to go to place for gaming, at least of all around here, because Atari, even though Atari did try to come back during that time frame, where they broke away from the wood grain look that they had to a more sleeker form factor. You remember that, Sega Man?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. It just wasn't popping, and so it wasn't until Nintendo came along that it started, regaining traction. But before that, it's like it was kind of a thing of like, I guess imagine having, say, like fudge brownies, all right? And you enjoyed them, you liked them, and then all of a sudden you ran out of them. And it's like, you're aware that you're aware of the fact that you ran out of them, but that's it. You just ran out, and that's because I guess that's the only way I could really say I thought about it was like, oh shit, there's no games. And then all of a sudden Nintendo comes along, oh shit, now there's games, and these aren't some dot chasing a dot.
That sounds crazy, man. Yeah.
But that's the mentality of a kid. So I mean, I don't know how it was for like, say, like, you know, teenagers or younger adults or anything like that. But
yeah,
I'm gonna argue back then that it was a lot simpler. It was simplified, and we didn't actually expand it yet. So it's kind of nice, you know, depending on what you like to play and whatnot, whether it be a Super Nintendo or an Atari, or whether you just spend all your days in arcades or whatnot. Yeah, those Chuck E. Cheese and Wonderful Discovery Zones back then too.
I'm gonna take a guess. You was the one that was a pain in the ass to get out of the ball pit when it was time to go, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean, either that or you'd see me in front of a Age of Empires server and I wouldn't get off. but I think it's kind of you know, it's kind of more open to more of the public now compared to back then, because back then, you know, half the planet still didn't have internet. So
all right, well, what about you, Sega Man? I mean, going with Emmanuel was saying, what was your thoughts when the crash hit?
Well, man, it was so long ago. You know, so long
Man,
ago.
Don't say it that way.
It was a weird time. It was just a really weird time. You know, Atari was a big hit for a long time, and then there was the ColecoVision. You know, I still have all those systems, and it was just a weird time. I think one of the downfalls of people losing interest in gaming was one game that comes to mind that was made for the Atari, which is E.T. You know, it's the worst game ever made.
Kind, actually.
Yeah.
That and Star Wars created most of my kind.
Yeah, and they did a documentary on it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Man, when he said that, my face. You ever seen people with sock puppets? My face just scrunched in like that, man. Like, why? Why'd you bring it up?
So you guys knew that game was like bad back then, because looking at ET, it doesn't look like too dissimilar to other NES games or whatever. So
okay, well, I'd argue that game by itself is not bad, but if you combine it with the knowledge of an educated, fantasy, sci-fi, individual child, that person puts one and one together, and then boom.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all of my millennial kind, but all of us chose to use it in a different direction, each of us. But I think it's kind of funny because no one understood how smart we were until decades later. But I actually didn't play that ET game at all. I had it in my school, but I didn't actually play it. But I was a huge Star Wars fan, so I just did it in reverse.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that shit sucked.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, but they just started making like all these. Around that time was really weird because they just started making all these weird games, and then when Atari fell, you can go into any Sears or a store called Zehrs back then. And they had
don't those still exist on South?
I don't know.
I have Ben's up here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do. Or Benny's or whatever they're called.
Right. But you could buy all these games, guys, so cheap. I mean, they were like $2-3 in the case and everything. All these Atari games just bins filled in Sears and Zehrs, and you can just rummage through it. Like if you look at a bin at Walmart, when you go to Walmart, and you see a bin of DVDs, right?
Yep, I remember that.
It was like that. You can look through that bin and it has all these different type of Atari games that were just really obscure and weird and stuff like that, where you can buy bone cheap. I mean, when that crash happened, man, it was just really bad. And then when Nintendo, you really have to honestly give it to Nintendo for actually bringing it back. You know what I mean? Because we were at wits' ends, with that, man.
Yeah, you got to give it to the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy Advance, but I definitely give it to the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. And then, the Segas and all that came out. But if it wasn't for the original NES coming out back then, man, no telling where we would be today, honestly. I mean, they really did save gaming. They really did, man. I mean, there was so many, cool 8-bit games that came out for that system. And then, like Fireboss said, there was the Sega Master System, and there was the TurboGrafx 16. I have all those systems still today, and they're great. They're great systems, man. They still are today. I mean, those 8-bit systems are really, really still good today. And a lot of these people, if indie games that they're making today and stuff like that, they love that 8-bit look. You see a lot of those games come out indie wise, and they even mimic some of the games. You know what I mean? That come out that remind you of playing an NES game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the Crash, man. I mean, hey, it was just something, man. It was crazy because I just kept playing my my Atari 5200 and all that stuff. But Atari was one of the ones that really just spiraled out of control, man. Then when Nintendo came and brought that first system out with that first Mario Duck Hunt and all that, it just started back up, started right back up.
And it really hit a fever pitch when the Master System came too.
Oh yeah.
Because then Nintendo was like, because granted, like I said, they were first over there, before Nintendo. It was a thing of that Nintendo came and they planted their flag and it's like, yeah, this is our land. Sega comes in, what was it, like I think a year later or 6 months?
Yeah.
No, I think it was like 6 months later probably. They come up and they're like not today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not today, motherfucker. So yeah, but right now we are over 2 hours. So man, we had this was a damn good roundtable.
Yeah, it was a good one today, Fireboss. It was pretty awesome, man. And having Emmanuel in here, also, man, it was good.
Yeah, man, it's been a pleasure.
Good podcast.
Well,
shout
dude,
out to all those who give this an actual full watch and actually, take your time to listen to us. And I think this is actually going to be a really good generation coming. This is going to be fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But shout out to Graphic God. Thanks so much for all that wonderful help that he gave E-Rock and Sega Man. It's gonna be massively fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. Shout out to Graphic God.
Yeah,
E-Rock,
Graphic God.
New Legal. He bought. So on that note, let me go ahead and bring up the outros. Sega Man, can you tell everybody where they can find you besides inside the box of some Captain Crunch?
All right, guys, you can always find me on my YouTube channel, Sega Man 101, where I talk about retro gaming and talk about gaming of today. You know what I mean? Preferably the Xbox, and you can always find me on the Exile podcast that come on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. and the weekly wrap up here on Fireboss's channel on Fridays. Subscribe to these guys out here. You know what I'm saying? T Reaper, and check out Fireboss channel. He's doing some great stuff, man. I mean, Emmanuel, thanks a lot, man, for coming in and being with us here on the roundtable. It's awesome, man, to have you in here. Emmanuel is very knowledgeable, man, and you need to come on to the Exile podcast sometimes too, man. You know what I mean?
Oh shit, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man. So we'll have to talk to E-Rock and stuff about that, man. I'm pretty sure he would love to have you on, man. when they start hearing Emmanuel on there too, you know, other people will probably reach out to Emmanuel. Like one of the greats is New Legal,
Oh
Direct
man.
Gaming. He likes to get people on there, so it's good to have you on here, brother, and hear your voice and express your knowledge of gaming, man. So thanks for coming, brother.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of E-Rock and New Legal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, definitely, you will, dude. If you are willing, you are damn sure going to come back. And
Yeah.
after the stream before you skip off, I'll talk to you more about that. But
Oh yeah, man.
Emmanuel, yeah. Can you let everybody know where they can find you?
Yeah, so currently I do not have my YouTube channel up. I'm still working on it. But in the meantime, you guys can find me on Twitter, Wavy Gamer X at Gamer Wavy. Yeah, you can probably find me in the chat in the meantime.
All right. And ODT Reaper, can you let everybody know where they can find you besides lurking behind the First National Bank, ready to rob it?
And besides pissing on a PS4.
Waiting for Batman to stop you.
I got my body back. I feel great, but like it's I'm not done yet because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to sit in front of a bank. So that's going to be kind of an interesting, next stage. And I'm having too much fun on Instagram, and I float on Twitter every single day. So I still float on that and probably on my gamer tag actually. But right now I'm just waiting for the games to launch, which we still have another like 3 weeks.
That's right, folks.
Or the 17th. I forget.
That's right, folks. He floats. He floats over here.
It only took 2 years to figure out actually how to do that process. I did not know how to do the process before.
All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in. This has been the Xbox Gaming Roundtable. See you next time.
All right, brothers. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.